Nick Szabo. He claims not to be Nakamoto, but I'm not sure that's neither here nor there. He seems to be the one more responsible for the ideas behind Bitcoin than anyone else.
Hold up. So Elon Musk thinks Nick Szabo is Satoshi. Wait, I thought this was a confession from the Bitcoin creator himself. Is there any way we could get the creator of Bitcoin to outright admit that he is Satoshi?
It's basically impossible.
Come on, Szabo. You already know I found where you admitted you created Bitcoin. Roll the tape.
Like if you were designing, if you're redesigning a BitGold today.
Oh no, I definitely go for a second layer. I mean, I designed Bitcoin. I designed Bitcoin.
Boom, case closed. Let's go home. Be blessed. BitBoy out. I'm not a financial advisor. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Today, we're going to be diving a little deeper into the evidence Nick Szabo created Bitcoin. If you missed yesterday's video that set up where we are today, the one that explains the connections between the famous banking Rothschild family in Hungary and Nick Szabo, click the link above. At the end of this video, I'm going to explain where we go next with Satoshi because newsflash, you are getting a huge cliffhanger at the end of this video. So case closed, right? Nick Szabo admits he's Satoshi on the Tim Ferriss podcast. Well, not exactly. Here's the entire clip.
I mean, I designed Bitcoin gold with 2 layers because...
While this clip is not a complete confession, I do believe heavily this is a real Freudian slip. You see, as we'll get into a little bit later with BitGold, it never even launched. It was purely theoretical. 2 years after the NSA paper we talked about a few days ago on this video above. 10 years before Satoshi creates Bitcoin. So let's break down quickly some of the evidence. Here are some of Nick Szabo's credentials.
Nick Szabo, one of the earliest cypherpunks and a pioneer in the field of digital currencies. He is a computer scientist, legal scholar, and cryptographer who has been active in the field of digital currencies since the early 1990s. He earned his computer science degree from the University of Washington and his legal doctorate from the George Washington University Law School.
Nick has been involved in the world of crypto forever.
Szabo is highly intelligent and has a lifelong obsession with cryptocurrency, which stretches back decades before Bitcoin appeared in 2008.
You want to talk credentials? We all credit Vitalik with creating smart contracts, right? And in practice, he did create them. Ethereum launched smart contracts into reality. But did you know that Nick Szabo coined the term and created smart contracts in theory?
He is actually credited with coming up with the term smart contracts, which he wrote about back in 1994. He elaborated on them 2 years later in 1996.
But to me, one of the most important things to understand is that Nick Szabo created so many of the ideas we have in practice with cryptocurrency today. He's always been dedicated to it and he fits the bill. He's a very quiet, reserved person. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. And of course, he never touches Bitcoin. Well, Nick's known to be deeply philosophical, right? Well, tomorrow, maybe I'll fill you in more on why he can't touch the Bitcoin. But you got to come back for that. So go ahead and like this video and hit subscribe if you want more of these juicy stories that only I can give you. The fact is, it's Nick Szabo's brain. It's his writings. It's his experience. And Elon Musk agrees with me. Here is Elon on the Lex Fridman podcast.
Well, I mean, you can look at the evolution of ideas before the launch of Bitcoin and see who wrote, about those ideas. Like it seems as though like Nick Szabo is probably more than anyone else responsible for the evolution of those ideas. He claims not to be Nakamoto, but I'm not sure that's neither here nor there. He seems to be the one more responsible for the ideas behind Bitcoin than anyone else.
Nobody matches the bill better, even without all the information I may have that others don't. And many people would agree that Satoshi is kind of this mythical figure, almost elevated to God status in a lot of ways, especially in the world of Bitcoin. Money is power over everything. Now, check out some of the weird Szabo writings on that.
Szabo published a white paper in 1997 titled The God Protocols, the opening of which reads like a philosophical description of what Bitcoin aims to achieve. Imagine the ideal protocol. It would have the most trustworthy third party imaginable, a deity who is on everybody's side.
A deity on everyone's side, almost like the friendly invisible hand of that old Hungarian banking family, helping everyone feel good and directing everyone's steps and controlling everyone's money. We've looked at some theoretical stuff, but is there hard evidence for Szabo? Check it.
Well, in 1998, we got the closest thing to concrete evidence in this search for Satoshi when Nick Szabo published his white paper on BitGold. BitGold, apart from sharing 3 of the 7 letters of Bitcoin, is almost an early Bitcoin version and was described as a direct precursor to the Bitcoin architecture. BitGold is a trustless, anonymous, mineable digital currency using proof of work. The similarities between Bitcoin and BitGold are almost eerie. What is remarkable is how he predicted certain Bitcoin issues and attributes of Bitcoin when describing describing BitGold. When discussing BitGold mining and BitGold miners, he foresaw how access to computing power would give some miners an advantage over others, as whoever, quote, invents and deploys an optimized computer architecture would earn a very substantial profit. He also discusses the inflation problem of fiat currency and the portability issues of precious metals, both of which would be solved by BitGold and were solved by Bitcoin.
For years, I always believed that Hal Finney was in fact Satoshi. After all, he was the first person ever to receive a Bitcoin transaction, and he lived near Dorian Nakamoto. Hal Finney tragically died of ALS in 2014, so we can't answer any of these questions. But did you know that Nick Szabo and Hal were buds?
Hal Finney is explicitly mentioned, by the way, with a hard supply cap that runs on what he called a bit string, which is the same idea as a blockchain.
Now, today, buds show their bros by sending each other bro token, a token of friendship, on Pulse Chain. Link below if you want to check that out. But there are plenty of other credible people that definitely believe that Nick Szabo is Satoshi. Not just me, not just Elon. Listen to this.
Several credible independent journalists who have looked into the Nakamoto mystery have also landed on Nick Szabo. New York Times journalist Nathaniel Popper wrote in 2015 that the most convincing evidence pointed to a reclusive American man of Hungarian descent named Nick Szabo. British journalist Dominic Frisby outed Szabo as Satoshi in 2014. Szabo then emailed Frisby writing, "I'm afraid you got it wrong doxing me as Satoshi." Well, I'm used to it. So he denies it, no surprise.
So the main argument against this theory many people make is that Szabo, who holds billions of dollars in Bitcoin if he is Satoshi, and is the most wanted man in the world, because that guy told you he's not Satoshi. Cool. I already told you he can't touch the money. So hold on.
But is there a counter argument that could disprove his possible Satoshi identity?
Yeah, there is one. And I'm going to give it to you tomorrow, but here's your hint.
So it's not perhaps like singular figures aren't even as important as the figures involved in the evolution of ideas that led to a thing. So
Yeah.
Hit the like button if you forgot. Be blessed, BitBoy out.